competing, and that's what I think made all of us great. We competed no matter who we were up against, even in practice, so that made all of us better.
Can y'all talk about practice a little bit and talk about legendary Coach Ametucci? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you this. I love the documentary. You know what I'm saying? I love the documentary, and I became even a bigger fan. I never even played with Coach Tucci, but however, I became a bigger fan for him. Because one thing, a good coach. I've played for a lot of coaches, and I only can name like maybe 3 that I can say that was, he was a good coach. And I'm old school. I like to, if I'm a player, I like you to ride me. Like, don't just tell me what I'm doing good. Let me know when I'm doing bad. I don't care how I come out, because I know that you I know it's not personal. I was never that type player. However, y'all playing with Coach Ametucci. And I'm gonna tell you this. I came out in '99. So what you hear, he mean, this, that, and third. But my friend Reggie, and I know that's your brother, Reggie Bryant, he loved him. All his players love him. You know what I'm saying? And then I said, you know what? Once I looked at that DVD, I said, I get it. I definitely get it. So can y'all speak on Coach Mark Ametucci just a little bit?
Coach Toots, he was tough to play for. And the reason why is because he made us do things that we didn't want to do. Like in the documentary, man, it was times we had practices with no basketball. It was times where when we did have a basketball, he would cover the basket. So whether you shoot or not is not going to go in, but Coach Ametucci, he brings the best out of you, man. He brings the best. All he wants is you to give it 100%, whether it's in a game or whether it's practice, and just give it your all, And I love playing for him. I love my 3 years at Calvert Hall.
Yeah, I think what happens is people say they want to win, but they don't have a roadmap to get there. So you could say you want to come to Calvert Hall and you want to play with Vernon and Eddie and Mark and Pop and Daryl and Paul, excuse me, and change things, but how are you going to get there? And I think when you bring all those different personalities together and everybody can play, somebody's got to navigate this ship. And that was Toots to say, I have the talent, but you guys got to do it my way. And if you're not willing to do it my way, then you can leave right now and I'll get somebody to replace you. So no matter how good we thought we were, he never let us believe that we were as good as everybody else said we were. We like Eddie said, we practiced with no balls. We didn't get water breaks. on days that they canceled school, Toots would call everybody on days that the snow was too high and the buses wasn't running. Toots said, I'm gonna practice at 1 o'clock. That'll give you all a chance to walk over to the bus stop and catch the bus and get here. And we said, but Toots, school is canceled, man. It's a blizzard outside. He said, your ass better be here at 1 o'clock.
I appreciated the game. I appreciated the game. I practiced really just as much as the games, truthfully, because Paul and I used to go at it because we were big guys, and so Paul. One night he pissed me off though. I was about to beg him. Because we would have this play where we run a cross pick. And every time I came across the middle, Paul would elbow me, hit me right in my chest. And I was like, I said, you do it one more time, right? We're going to fight. So he did it. He actually did it to me twice. The first time he did it, I kind of let it go. Second time I did it, I was like, okay, he meant it to do this, right? Yeah. I said, don't hit me. I said, don't elbow me again. So the third time, because we practiced in this play, and I got to come across to set the cross pick. So the third time, we just teed off on each other. He threw one, I threw one. I was like, we gonna fight.
Man, that's practice, man. Practice.
Yeah, we used to go at it.
I mean, fights we used to have and dust up, man, it was crazy. And then the funny thing about all of this, when the practice was over, we can go in the locker room and crack up on each other, laughing and throwing the dozens and everything, and everybody be fine with it, man. That was the thing that I loved the most. You know, you can fight, you can do whatever you want, but at the end of the day, we were family, and hey, we all walk to the bus stop or get a ride or whatever, whether we mad, glad, happy or sad, whatever it is, man. And but like
our practices was like games, man.
Yeah, better than games, really.
Yeah, our practice was like a good game.
Yeah, practice allowed us, the big guys, to touch the ball.
Hey, you just said you practiced without a ball, did you?
Well, I tell folks all the time that I don't know another team where every player from your high school team has a cell phone number of each other, player 1 through 12, in their phones.
Yeah.
That, like when Eddie wanted to put this together. Yeah, when Eddie wanted to put this together, there's no calling 1 or 2 people saying, do you have, Charles Sikorsky's phone number, or Ted Frick and Larry Fowler. These are guys that were number 10, 11, and 12 on our team. Everybody on our team is in everybody's cell phone right now, and you can look them up for yourself. And I don't know if that happens on any other team. You may have 1 or 2 or 3, or maybe even the starting 5 that are close to you, but to have every player in your phone, I don't think that happens on every squad.
And this is 45 years later.
Yeah.
Right.
That don't. I talk more to my junior college teammates, probably about 4. No, I'm telling a story. My Dunbar, but it's not all. It's about, I'm gonna say it's an all Metro group.
Yeah.
But we've been talking for years in one group. However, but you correct. As far as a team that stay connected like that, no, that's they're not, people not doing that.
Yeah.
Or they haven't done that. But you know what, though, people? Because I know what y'all are here for, and we about to get to it. So we about to talk about the basketball. We about to get into this Catholic League real quick. And before we get it done, ball, because I had the tip in, I went 3 overtime. People, when I say they played in the best high school game ever, I'm putting it out there. Ever. When I say, was it over 4,000 or 5,000? Like, I know it was sold out, and it was wrapped around. They played at Towson University, people.
Towson State capacity was 5,500, and they turned away 2,000. It was a sold out capacity of 5,500, and they turned away 2,000.
Now, let me ask y'all, because y'all the players, and that layup line. Matter of fact, no, let's take it back to the locker room. We all know all of everybody out there to see this. Like this is the show. People still talk about this game today.
Well, let me say this. I was there as a spectator because that was the year before I came. So I didn't play in that game. So I wasn't there, but I wasn't in the game. I was there witnessing the game, but I wasn't in the game. I wasn't at Calvin Hall at the time. That was the year before I came.
We were sitting behind the bench.
Let me talk to Vernon first then, because he was a spectator first. He was a spectator. He was on that side. Looking as a spectator at that game. Talk to us. It was the clown, man.
No, it was hype. I mean, the game was hype. I mean, that all the more. And at that time, I knew I was coming next year, the following year. And so the game was so hyped, and you just knew, as a spectator, that that's like something that I wanted to be a part of. I mean, that was just something that you had to be a part of. And so I was excited, just to be in the crowd. I do have to admit, I left before. I didn't see the overtime.
Oh, you missed the overtime too?
I missed the overtime. You know, at the time, what happened was the guys I was riding with, they were leaving, and unless I didn't have a ride back home, so
Yeah, I get it.
I had to take off. And so when I got home, I found out they won, and I was kicking myself, and I was so mad at my homeboys for leaving because I didn't want to leave. I'm like, dude, we can't leave. We got to stay till the end. And he's like, man, I'm leaving. The game is over. They down. They ain't coming back. I was like, dude, I'm telling you, let's not leave. And so I was like, dude, they was like, you either come or you gonna get left. And so I said, all right, I'm gonna leave. I left. So I didn't get the chance to see the overtime, which was really, that was like the real part of that was the game, really. That was the game. So yeah, so I have to admit I didn't see the overtime part, but I saw highlights, and so I kicked myself to this very day because I didn't see the overtime.
I stayed one, overtime 2, overtime 3. When Turtle missed that tap and it rolled around and came out, Paul Kenny, thank you, Paul Kenny. Yeah, man, I was sitting behind the bench watching. All I know is that Mark Wilson gave him 30. That's all I can tell you. Mark gave him 30.
LP, keep going up,
baby. When Wade brung OJ in, all I can tell you is that Pop took it from him 3 straight times.
Oh!
Not 2 times, 3 straight times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Edwards, LP is what we call him, gave him about 18 and 14 boards. Come on, man. So what's the difference if the following year Muggs, man, y'all get me hyped up.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This is not what, Eddie. You know this is not what, Eddie.
So what would have been the difference if Muggs was there? It wouldn't have been no difference. Wouldn't have been no difference. The only difference was Dwayne was already there, and now they got me and Vernon. Come on, man.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mark. Paul, go ahead.
But here's the thing. You gotta play with what you have, though.
Yeah.
Calvert Hall had their team and Dunbar had their team, and you can't play the what if game and all that kind of stuff. If Muggsy was there and Paul Kenny hadn't have died, Dwayne would have been coming off the bench. So what would have been the difference? You play with who you have at the time of the game. And the facts are we had a team and we beat them in triple overtime. Right. There are teams that we the following year when Vernon and Eddie came, we were #1 in the nation from the